Hi everyone, welcome to your November 2020 reading. As you guys know, it's my pleasure. Did I just say 2021? Okay. Just kidding. 2022 reading, and as you know, take two. It is my pleasure to work with you, work for you, to be of service. And yeah, this is going to be my gift to you in service to others. So yeah, so let's jump in. But first, actually, before we get started with the reading, I do want to give you a few Donnelly Bean announcements. The first thing, as some of you may already know, if you've been following the channel, I've been on some Four of Swords rest. So Four of Swords rest is practically time out, right? But basically, I'm just going to be on medical leave for, let's say, the month of November. So I may drop some things here and there, but just so you know, right? So I wanted to make sure I left us with some awesome monthly projections before I headed out. And what else? And actually, a lot of you guys are also going through some Four of Swords, temporary rest, timeout, hibernation energies of your own. I'm actually feeling some of you actually gearing up to get started. And to be honest, I'm feeling that a lot of this energy that's gearing up on my right side here, for some of you, this could be Sagittarian energy already coming in some way, through some form in your chart. There could be other placements as well, you guys know. But either way, look, I'm already jumping into reading. I'm already feeling a lot of confusion coming in. Listen, we're going to get in there. We're going to get into these readings. So, yeah, and so that's the thing. I am on, just in case you guys don't know, when we do channeling and when we do energy work and such, we always want to make sure that our vessel is doing okay. So that's why if we have things to do or we have repairs to make or whatnot to the vessel, we want to make sure that we start by purifying it. So for a lot of you guys, if you have things that you need to do, if you have procedures you need to get done, all of that, it's always very, very good to start to pull back from things like social media, excessive goings-ons with other people. You're basically clearing your field. So that's what I've been doing for the past, few weeks. All right, thank you. Oh, look, see, yeah. The divine physician, speak it. All right, so anyway, I think that's it for Donnelly Bean assignments. Okay, yeah, thank you guys. Donnelly Bean announcements. Let's jump into the month of November. Alrighties. Look, something's been found is what I'm getting. Let me jump in a little deeper. There's the confusion. Okay, so, as we go deeper into the field, we're getting the emotions. So I'm seeing here that generally speaking, some of you have started to get it. I'm seeing some aha moments. I'd love to say it's like a rolling wave of aha moments where people are like, oh, I get it. And everyone's getting it in their own time, but it's unfolding, progressively. But I'm actually seeing there's a little, I can't make it, the sound, hiccup. There's a little hiccup here. There's a select few of you who haven't quite yet gotten it. Now, I wonder why they're doing it like this. Gotten it. It's like, you get it yet? You can't see my face because I'm off camera, but you know the look. Hey, you got it yet? So there's a few you got it yet. As I said that, I just perceived of myself pulling out a little, what would we call this? When you're nailing something into the ground so you can like put a tent or something to it, you like spike, I don't know. So I just pulled a spike out, and some of you may actually feel that in your gut area, in your solar plexus area. It's like, oh, it's a realization how you would receive that or experience that energetic dynamic that I just talked about. The dynamic is me removing a spike like energy from your chakra there, how you may receive that or experience that is as like, oh, I get it. See the delay? Oh, it's like traveling from that solar plexus area up. Your mouth's still agape because it's like loading, 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 and then boop, it comes to your mind like, oh, I get it. I get it. This isn't the job for me. I get it. This isn't the direction I need to go. Oh, I get it. This person isn't actually my friend. Some of you are having that realization coming from activities that occurred during Libra season. Remember, Libra season was really giving us some real, social interaction situation going on there. And some of the receipts have now been acknowledged by you because you had the receipts. Listen. You had the receipts, and some of you actually had the receipts since Virgo season, TBH, but it's now making its way to your mind, so you're having realizations across the board, but some of you are now getting it. And once you get it, I feel good to say that, you know what, once you get it, you realize, okay, so this isn't the right direction for me. Oh, I've been deliberating on whether to purchase this house or that house, now I realize I don't need a house at all. Whatever this is, or this person isn't actually my friend, I get it, I wasn't sure before. The reason why it took you so long, and that has no judgment attached to it, right? We're just looking at a period of time. The reason why it took you so long to, the guides are like lengthy approach, so long to arrive at this realization is because, well, you had some things to clear up in your side, some wounded stuff to work through, all of that. And so notice the guide said lengthy approach because they always put us in the driver's seat. To us, notice I said to arrive at, like, oh my God, it suddenly happened. They're like, no, you took your time to approach the reality that's been right there for you all this time. That's the way the guides see it. They see us as not only very sovereign, but they understand that there are things that are in your way. You see, everything's air quoted, in your way to realizing, to making decisions, to coming around to whatever. They see all that, but they also see that you put those things in your place. You put those things in your way, maybe years ago, maybe 2 nights ago, whatever. So they see you as having a clear path ahead. But whether it's through your actions in this lifetime or other lifetimes or whatever, you are responsible for placing the obstacles that lay between you and your target, you and your healing, you and your realization that, oh, we're all cool here. And so while you and me, us, from our limited human perspective, will see things as being out of our control and have experiences of things as being out of control and having experiences of other people holding the decision-making factor for things. Because yeah, duh, hey, I'm not hiring myself, that guy is, right? But we don't realize we put things in motion at some point that created the conditions to now have this person in front of us who's deliberating on our decision of whether to hire us or not, instead of manifesting somebody who saw us and was like, you're the person for me, you're hired right off the spot. So that's why they see us as fully the creators of our own existence. We don't see it because we only see a little bit. They're seeing the full perspective, and so that's why they give us the respect and the responsibility and the onus of speaking to us in terms of us being sovereign beings in control of our destiny. So anyway, lengthy approach. They're at the finish line. Hey, did you enjoy your walk here? You finally ready to get on with it? As opposed to me here understanding what they're saying, but me here with you, I'm like, hey, did you work things out? How did it unfold for you? How did you arrive at it? They're like, listen, you took your time. That's cool. You chose to take your time. That's cool. We're here. And true to form, we are here. Wherever you are, there you are. Let me take a sip of this cute little tea. 1 second. Just kidding, I had to do that. Like, what tea is that refreshing, but okay. Anyway, so thank you, dear God. Thank you, guides. So we see progress, undulating progress. Love that word, wanted to say it, okay. And that little hiccup was just people, taking the time or in other words, people having their healing unfolding so that they can step into realization of something. And here we are. For some of you, I do see a little third lot. God bless your buttons. You guys will have your arrival, your lengthy approach to the realization around the month of December 6th. Ooh, very specific. Okay. All right, thanks guys. They're so good. Look at this. Someone arriving at a destination. What's the destination? Realization, because we see the treasure card choosing of its own accord to come out in reverse and to remain in reverse. This card usually shows, hey, what am I looking for? I'm missing something. I don't know. So it usually shows somebody seeking something that they may not even be aware of. But like I said, we're here. Okay, thanks guys. I love how they're like, hear ye. So some announcements. Oh yeah, we did have announcements earlier. That's right. But some announcements, thank you, are coming in for some of you. I'm seeing radio station. I'm getting don't listen to it. Okay, whoa. Let me put these cards down. What are we talking about? Okay, they're pulling this card over here. God bless. Look at this. All of this stuff in your ear. They're reminding you that they're really trying to get in touch with a lot of us. Hell, and I love how they just said hell. Okay, hell, our higher selves are trying to get in touch with them, with them. Yeah, see, they're like with us. So everybody, God knows, but they can't get through sometimes. Well, first of all, they're here. Hello, hi, it's us. We're here. That's why we throw in the pronouns them, so you know that, you know, Jay, our girl Jay, you know, I put our girl Jay in there, but anyway, it's channeling. And they're trying to say that we're here. We are, hey, you wanted more information on that? We sent it. You wanted to know if this person's for you? We told you. You wanted your grandmother, she's right there. You wanted that great-great-grandfather paternal energy because you have issues with father energies in this lifetime. And God, you just wish there was someone who loved you in a fatherly way. Guess who stepped up from your ancestral line from the other side? He there. Hey, you like elementals? Yeah, you have a few pixies on your team. They're there too. Everybody's trying to connect with you. Somebody, they're pointing at your feet. They're like, hey, we sent you to foot spa. We sent you to the foot spa. We also may have told you about, you know, getting those at-home foot spas so you could feel more like the queen that you are, or the king that you are. Did you buy it? No, that's fine. It's okay. But they're saying we're here, but we can't even, it's like they're so cute. They're like volleying. There's like one ball, and the ball represents the thing that you focus on. And here we are playing volleyball. Finally, it comes towards one of your team members. They're like, boop. And before another team member can catch the ball to really work on it, somebody else from the news media, boop, gets it. And then your cousin Ronnie, boop, gets it. And then your mother's guilt gets it, boop. And you know, everybody is vying for your attention. And you can't even focus because you, my dear, once again, here come the team putting you into the driver's seat. I love that they're showing us a high chair. Maybe somebody here is dealing with a baby, but also they're saying, hey, but you're also working with some, you know, consciousness that's a little bit baby. God bless. Because listen, guys, we are the babies of this universe in many ways, okay? So let's just take it on the chin. We're just taking it. They're putting us in there to say, you are they just pulled me in like, oh, all of you, including Janelle, are very powerful, sovereign being. You make decisions for yourself that either function to hurt you in the long run or offer you an experience of hurt, or to help you, to give you ease. Look at them. They're so cute. They're like, this is how they're talking to us. And you're like, whatever, right? And so they're like, you have to understand you are a tuner. You're like a radio tuner. You have the ability, third eye, to tune into many different frequencies, many different whatever. If you're having an experience that is painful, that is elated, you're elated about something, that is leaving you wanting, that is making you excited, that is whatever your experience is, you are tuning into that. If you don't like feeling that way, tune out. It's like the radios in your car. If you're in your car, super cute, doing your thing, and you're like, oh, let me catch up on some talk radio. Guess what? You're hitting the tuner so that you can tune into one station of the many stations that are in the air. These frequencies are in the air. And you're just tuning in to, that station. And then when you're done, you want to tune into something else, and you want to tune into something, but you're going to tune into something, right? So they're asking us to remember you're in the driver's seat because you're tuning into things. The problem is people have forgotten that, and they've forgotten how they're doing it. They're like, if you want to see what it is that you're attracting to yourself, look around your life. Look around your life. Do you have dust on your counters right now? Do you have clutter where you are? Do you see an abundance of the color brown? Do you have unread messages somewhere? Do you have bank statements piling up? Do you have people, enemies that you can name off your list? Do you have, right? What do you have going on? What's going on in your life? Take stock. Take stock of your life. It will tell you the energies that you're pulling in. Look at your body. Look at your body. What's going on there? Healing wise, medical wise, what part of the body, what's happening? Are you having, do you have acid reflux issues? What do you have trouble keeping down? Or what bile are you encountering each day? What's happening? What's happening? So that's what they're saying. Start to become more intentional. We know that, but why don't you set the intention to be observant, to understand, to see the world from a lens of how you are your master manifester. You are the master manifester, plain and simple. And once you start to take personal responsibility for what is happening in your life, you start to step away from the lens of seeing yourself as a victim. You start to step away from seeing yourself as a prince or princess of paucity, right? Poverty consciousness. You start to step away from seeing yourself as being responsible for anybody else. You just start to see things differently. And going back to what they're saying, you're going to be getting announcements this month and coming up. They're like, turn it off. And I would like to sugarcoat it, but I got to keep it 100, guys. You know me. They're talking about those news. The news be messing with people, okay? Just letting you know. This is not the channel where you're going to come on and get news about, the underpinnings and the shady stuff and the what's real and what's not real, but doesn't mean it's not happening. So when the guides are telling you, stop falling for these false flags, gotta listen. You see something on the news, it gets you a certain type of way, you start feeling twisted, literally. You start calling people, you're talking about it, you're spending your time ranting and raving with somebody. Some people virtue signaling, some people start getting on their pulpit. Listen, what are you doing? Some of these things, many of these things are fabricated and you cannot see it because you haven't dedicated yourself to seeing that. And some of you are doing too much with your seeing, right? So we have to be balanced. It doesn't matter what you're looking at in this world, you will only see a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. That's cool. We out here, we're doing whatever we're doing. But if you take something away from here, it's this. Shut your eyes and focus on what's inside of you. Who are you and what are you doing? Who are we being? Yeah, we all want to do things overseas. We all want to pick up this and go overseas and do that in the name of whoever, just say that karma, okay? We all want to, write articles. We all want to get up there and leave our piece on next door, what is it called? Your neighbor and this and that. And we all want to do stuff. But what are you doing to fix the foundation of self when you're founded upon something that is it's funny, the guides are saying worthiness. If you're founded upon something that is worthy, that is stable, that is balanced, that is true, which comes through self-reflection, free thinking, independent thought, understanding something higher than yourself, turn in and stop looking at what society is telling you because it's not. Anyway, a lot of it is fabricated. You have no idea, okay? And it's deep fabrications, all right? And so right now, you have to cut yourself from that. Speaking of that, look at this. Look at all these cords coming down, and look at this person here just helplessly, in this dream state. Wake up. Oh, look at what's underneath the tower. Yeah, wake up. Wake up. Now, I know it's going to be a little bit like, oh, shaky, like, oh, but these are our experts, and oh, yeah, but the news is this, and oh, listen, we're not kids. And if you're attracted to the material that comes through my channel, you're definitely not a beginner. You're not out here like, what is the soul? What is, like, this is not the channel for that, okay? So you understand, you have it within you to understand that along your path of your personal evolution, this information is coming to you at this point because it's time for you to step higher into your consciousness, into your understanding. You cannot do that by looking out into the world and trying to have people tell you whether things make sense, right? You have to go inside and think for yourself. So the guides have been thankfully giving us a heads up. They're not out here saying, oh, this thing, that thing, that they don't need to do that. That's your job. You start working on your third eye, your gut instinct, but they are out here telling you not everything you see, and I'm getting a whopping at least 70%. Yeah. They're saying at least 30% is just falsity. And then the rest of that, the other 40% is God knows what derivation of falsity. So please, 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 please do not look for your idols out there. Okay? You're getting your news from platforms. Dear God. Okay. If you're over the age of whatever, what are we doing, right? Come on. That's your soapbox, the platforms getting out there, Anyway, we're doing our best. Everybody's up in arms when they hear somebody forgetting to use this, whatever, anyway. But not many people sit down and think first. They all want to get in a huff and a puff and say something instead of thinking first, oh shoot, why is this like message sending me? Why did this Twitter thing send me? Why am I so upset about this? Like, what was going on? Yeah, it's because you got some unhealed stuff. Go ahead and take the weekend, take a look at it, do your thing, and as you chip away at it and you understand the root cause, you realize, oh my God, I'm no longer as angry or as moved to say anything and to get up here and say this or tell my niece that or my nephew this or my kid that or like shout at my husband. I'm not even in that zone anymore because it was me with my unhealed stuff. That's all it is. So a lot of these people taking umbrage online and in our news and in our mainstream media and culture and blah, blah, blah. A lot of these movements we look at it, oh, unhealed wounds, confusion. That's it, okay? So pick very closely who and what you're listening to. Make sure that the people that you're listening to, yes, they can raise good points, but a lot of those points you need to vet them because they are coming from unstable foundations, okay? Especially if you have people saying the same thing for years, they haven't changed their stances, they haven't evolved, they haven't, especially if they're very public, that's a sign they haven't been doing their work. I got to keep that 100. Because when you do your work, your thoughts change, your philosophies change, your ideologies change. You may have to issue, so for some people apologies, for some people they make peace, they move on to other things, they grow, they change. So it's very, very important to start learning. These are mastery tools. I'm butchering the words. They're saying spiritual tools of ascension and mastery, verbatim, for all of you. The question is, are you ready to step into it? Okay? God is good. And so are you guys. Okay? Anyway, whoosh, just go with this. Wow, look at this. Okay, do you guys want to turn up? Turn up? They're like, Ace of Voices, Queen of Emotions. If that's not, speak on it, guides. This is balance. Balance of thoughts with the Ace of Voices and emotions. Queen of Cups. When you create balance within, look at this 2-2, 22, balance. When you create balance within, guess what you're doing? You're creating the ability for yourself to be a viable tool of receptivity. You are able to think, you're able to receive. We're all receiving. The problem is not whether we can receive and stuff. Of course, that is the case sometimes because some people have so many blockages that the energy just can't even get in. God bless. But the energies are around. A lot of times we're receiving it, but we're totally seeing it wrong. So even your beloved readers out there, you need to vet your readers, right? You need to vet your readers. Now, this doesn't mean to dismiss things wholesale, because when things are told to you, they're told to you when they need to be told. And sometimes you just haven't, quote unquote, arrived at the realization. So as I say, just back pocket some things that may not seem like, whatever. But sometimes you're just getting something through somebody who, the guys are funny. They're like fortune tellers. Yeah. Guys, people can't tell you fortunes. We can't tell you fortunes, and why would we want to, right? We can't tell you what to do, what's going to happen. Here's my prediction, blah, blah, blah. Predictions, especially in this day and age, are not so reliable. And the reason why is because the energies are changing very rapidly, especially if you're doing your work and you're chipping away at stuff. Energies, timelines are changing, potentials are changing. But what a good energy reader can do for you is they can look at the energy as it stands right now and say, this is what I'm seeing here, right? And we can read into it. And if you have healing abilities, God is good. I do that. I do have healing abilities in addition. We all do, right? But it's part of what I do. So when we look in, we can see how you arrived at that energy being the way it is, what your thoughts have been, what your emotions are, where it's affecting you in the body, how you may experience it in the physical, what thoughts you may be thinking, the things that people are doing around you. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to help you to become better at reading the energy, because the energy is around, but we're trying to bring it more to your conscious awareness, so you become quite expert at reading incoming energy that's around. When you step back into this open awareness for yourself, that is a reclaiming of mastery, because that is one huge step towards these news people can't tell me anything. This story here can't tell me anything. My nephew said this, they can't tell me anything. Yes, they're all coming from their level of consciousness, from their background of education, which is hit or miss a lot of times, from their wounds, all sorts of stuff, and they're offering what they have to me. But I remember and I realize I don't have to consume what it is that they're telling me, because I know I create my own reality. Right? Now let that sit with you. I create my own reality, because I'm feeling some of you like, oh yeah, all right, so the reality, and I don't know why this is coming up, but the Great Wall of Berlin, that was my reality. That was someone. Listen, seek to understand, right? We seek to understand. So when you're like, oh yeah, okay, and if you get moved to anger and the I word, indignation, that's a quick call to let yourself sit and go inside and change the energy. Because you can have the thought, but the fact that the energy of indignation is there, that is a sign that there's something inside that needs to be worked on. Otherwise, it would just be a neutral feeling towards, or you may even have a different energy attached, like, oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure I really like vibe with that, but I'm curious. That's a curious energy, right? So we have to really start to look at the thoughts and emotions and the energies that we're moving with, because we're a wonderful set of moving parts, but people perceive of themselves as quite monolithic, and they are doing it a bit to their detriment, because we're not monolithic. We have aspects to us, and that's why you can have contradictions and hypocrisies and things like this. So let's continue. Yeah, the guides are saying carrying generational curses is what they're saying. They are using the word curses. They're also saying cruces. Okay? CRUCES. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But they're carrying generational things. Just I'm saying that my hands are like this, and it's like ringing a little bit, but I'm like ringing of my hands, but anxiety, but also it's almost like carrying this energy from the past. There's fear. A lot of times there's fear that we're carrying. Now I'm feeling it up the spine a bit. That comes from generations before. It's like generations before something, could be something as simple as an ancestor of yours made a choice out in this world that, hurt other people, blah, 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 and they maybe didn't get the repercussion of that. And it's in the bloodline, and ancestrally speaking, energetically, here you are generations later, and you don't realize it, but this fear of the other shoe dropping, of karmic repercussion, is in your field, and you're walking around with anxiety, and you don't know it's partly because of that. So they're showing, and look at this, the wheel, look at all these generations coming up. Yeah, they're showing that we are the recipients of what has been put out there before us. Some of us are torch bearers. They're carrying, they're carrying you. They're saying you guys are carrying the torch. They're saying, well, quite simply, for bad behavior from the past. Lots of criminals in the past, angels today, but carrying repercussions from that. And they're saying that it would be even like easier, believe it or not, if it were the same soul that did the action from the past, and now they're here in this lifetime, the same soul. They would have an easier time with this energy from the past than others who never did that, but now they are carrying this stuff with them and they don't realize it. So it's very interesting, because it's like it's almost like we're naturally programmed to be receptive to what we put out there, even though we still go through things like denial and blah blah blah. It's more natural than to carry the stuff of someone else, So the subconscious is very interesting. Brief. They're saying brief. Okay, well, the subconscious is very brief. Is that, or are you saying something else is brief? Maybe this is brief, what's coming in now, but I'm seeing a ring. I'm seeing it, okay, sorry. I want to say the subconscious is very deep, okay? Let's move on. Brief. They're saying the next thing that's coming in feels almost like, I'm seeing sign language. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's for somebody there, ASL. But there is a wedding situation or engagement situation or some energy, because I'm seeing a wedding ring, and it almost feels like this won't make it to, I want to say the aisle, but they're saying it won't make it to the pulpit. So is the pulpit further along the aisle? Where are we at? Something is very brief here. Wedding vows not even exchanged is what the guides are saying. God bless. I'm so sorry, guys, if this is about you. God bless your buttons. And they're saying cousins. Okay, I think I know who that's for. But the fact that they're saying it could be for one person or maybe a few people, because spirit does work like that. Sometimes I have multiple people book a reading after one of these videos, and they all have different reasons for it, but they all like clued into the same thing, and it's like, this applied to all of you. That seems so specific. But anyway, cousins, something about cousins here. Very brief. Okay, very brief. All right, so now they're closing up that energy. Thank you. Yay. So cute. Like a messenger just came in to say that. I love it. They're so sweet. Thank you, guys. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I feel like I want to get everything in. And look at all these people. I see one person looking up. Aw. Let's see what that is about. Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Guides. The guides are saying that we do have people placed in our lives, and they're there to watch over us. God is so good. Thank you. And I'm suddenly seeing somebody here, and I know who you are, right? I'm like, oh shoot, I know it. I didn't know it, but I knew it. And so sometimes when the guides push you to keep in contact with somebody, or keep taking somebody's messages, or you're just like, why do I keep feeling like I need to reach out or something? That's because there's a little bit of a contract there, a soul contract that's about keeping you in line, is what they're saying. Listen, that's so funny. Listen, even us readers, because we're by contract, we're bound to work, right? For example, it's the joy of it though, right? For service to others. But we have people on the ground keeping an eye too, they might be a regular person, not even in the field, but they, they watching. Their spirit is watching, because we hold different, they're saying there are different perceptions of authority. Down here, this person's just that. But if you look at their energy and you see what their role, their soul is playing, they're also, authority in some way. So that's why they use the word overseeing. So we do have people who oversee us. And I'm seeing another one. They're looking at me. This one's a kid, cute. They're saying some of them are children. Don't get fooled by that height. Don't get fooled by that height, guys. These are bosses, pit bosses, they're saying. People put here on the ground to keep an eye on things. Okay? So don't, and that's not a scary thing. It's just keeping us accountable. That's all. Think about it as a supervisor. Okay? A supervisor. That's the best word I can come up with, but it's not quite. Like a little bit of a supervisor, but a supervisor carries a little bit more of a hands-on energy, and it's just expressed differently. So let's, keep it that way. What else? They don't want you to overthink this, because some of you may naturally, understandably, mistake a dominant person in your family for being one of these people, and that's not the case. It's not the case at all. Just because someone has a dominant personality in your family doesn't mean that they hold a contract, a sacred contract, to oversee you, or to look in on you, or to check in with you, or to monitor your progress from, a non-physical perspective. It doesn't mean that at all. Okay? They're saying look for the people who want to see you shine. They don't want to take anything from you. They don't want to overstep boundaries, things like that. These are people out here who are, it's just part of the organization, especially because the people, you guys who get attracted to my channel, I would say most of you, especially if you order readings from me, like most of you have some type of soul contract for mission work, okay? And, okay. I just put that there, like, take that card. Three of Swords, heartbreak, okay? So anyway, so don't try it from the conscious mind perspective to guess, like, do I have somebody? I'm hearing the word handler. A handler, that always sends chills up my spine, because when we hear about a handler, it just doesn't sound right. But this is spirit, so please know that it's not going to be that low vibe handler that we hear about here on earth, okay? We have handlers, God is good. But I do see what they want to pull up here is the Three of Swords. It does look medical related for some of you, this Three of Swords. The Three of Swords signifies heartbreak, but I'm actually seeing that what they're showing here, let's look deeper, is that a lot of us are carrying wounds that can't even, look at the heart, cute. Ding! Why did I feel very K-pop for a second? I'm like, love you. What's going on, right? But they're doing this, and we have wounds that can't even get, like, let's say the heart is like this, like that. It can't even get a chance to heal and mend itself because we are maintaining coping mechanisms. Thank you. That's for some peeps. Okay, we out here. And relationships, some of you have to be 100, marriage, things like this. Look, now it's the energy's doing like this to show mental distortion and disruption to the field. You can't even right yourself because you've got these connections with people that are still open, and they're just serving to rend this wound apart. Listen, we need to let wounds set. We need to right the wound And then we need to let it be so it can set and come together. But if you're constantly ripping open your wound again and your skin again, like, what are we doing out here, okay? Spirit is definitely sending that out for somebody. There are quite a few of you, so please don't try to guess. But I am going to give first name initial V, okay? You're included in this message. God bless, God bless. Super hugs, super Donnelly being hugs, right? But it could also be for some others. I'm getting somebody who I don't know actually, who's this, with a C as their first initial. I'm not sure, but somebody here is listening gently. God bless. You have a C as your first name initial. I'm getting somebody who has it's interesting that they're saying it this way, a prominent F in the middle name. You're wondering, is that message for me? And they're funny. They're like, it could be. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Because they want you to clean some stuff up, F. Whoever you are, prominent F in the middle name. It doesn't even have to be the first letter. I don't know who this is. Or you may be sitting here and you're like, but I'm thinking about my middle name, but I don't have an F. And then you look up and you see this brand name of something with a big F. That's you, right? For example, they're saying, we want you to clean some stuff up. So for you, it doesn't even matter if it applies or not. You acting like it applies will help you to clean stuff up. They're saying space. You have to get your space. You have to make space for yourself, number one, and you have to have your space cleared. They want you to clear your space. Now, clear your space could mean literally making room to walk, decluttering. There may also be a space like an actual galactic connection there for you. But the reason why you, F person, God bless you, need to do this is because there's a shipment coming in for you. They're like, we got a shipment for you. For you. Energy codes, energetic stuff wants to come in for you. And they want to create the space. Otherwise, what are we doing? When Amazon comes, give them a space to put your boxes. Otherwise, they're just going to chuck that thing somewhere. Who knows? No offense to our Amazonites. God bless. All right, look at that space. And it's interesting that we see this Three of Wands, right? Waiting energy. But interesting that we see this space here depicted by a break in dominoes. So it goes back to what the guides are saying, you guys. We need to create the space for healing to occur, whether that's time, resources, decluttering, things like that, detachment, right? Because otherwise, we're just allowing things to, like a set of dominoes, keep playing out and playing out and playing out and playing out. They're bringing me to some news and some, events in the news right now. We hear about, God bless, murders and stuff. I don't want to get into it too much, but recently there was another murdered hip-hop artist. Yeah, they're like, you don't need to drop names. I love that they're like that. You don't need to drop names, because if you need that person's name as an example to understand this information, then you will have it provided for you elsewhere. But they're showing how things could be, how misguided energy can really lead to downfalls. Yeah? And they're showing me that person's energy, God bless, that person who, God bless, has passed, sorry, hold on, I'm gonna get that. Their actions and the actions of those around them misguided, right? And that's a misnomer, not misguided, because they've been guided, right? But they didn't take the choices, right? But that creates a break here in the timeline for them. I'm seeing it down the line, and we don't need to get into what that means also, but here this happened, and it could even be that some stuff that they put in motion beforehand led to the opening and the activation of that potential for them to have an exit point there, because we have exit points planned for us. God bless. Times that we may pass. You know, every good plan has some escape clauses, but which one you decide to take really depends on you. And sometimes we make choices beforehand that lead to that. But either way, I'm seeing that person's, for maybe somebody who's interested, I'm seeing, God bless, that person's ascension, they're saying, is smooth. So there's no need to worry about that. Okay? They're good. The multiple messages. Now they're using the celebrity that was just, killed, God bless, here, but they're discussing dynamic and principle and stuff that may apply to us in general. Some of you may have lost people recently or things like that. And so they're just showing that exit points are real. And I can't understand this personally, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to deliver the message. They're saying exit points are favored, much more favored, as opposed to nonsensical mistakes. Now, I'm not too happy with hearing that personally, because I like to believe things are in a tidy and neat universe and that there are no such things as mistakes and stuff like that. But, maybe from a higher perspective there isn't, but we'll honor the message that's coming in here because they're saying it for a reason. Okay? Guides don't mince their words in these readings. Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm with them on that though, and I see it more as me not having the full knowledge of things. So this is a moment for me not to try to be like, hey, can you, whatever, but instead to seek to understand that I don't know everything. But it makes sense that they would say that, because I remember in the past, I don't know what I was watching, and there was a channeling session or mediumship or something, and a being had come back and was talking to the family, and they're like, you don't have to go into all that, but I do what I gotta finish the thought. It'll be really quick. And the being came back into the family. Back with the message, and the message that the person was saying is, I passed in a way that, it wasn't my highest moment, or it wasn't my, right? So the being was acknowledging that there could have been different choices made. And so this is probably what the guides are trying to say. But anyway, moving on. All right, thank you guys. Okay. So November, these are all energies that are kind of hanging around. Whatever there is coming through here will be helpful for us in the month of November. So let's just zoom out a little bit here and see what other things. All right. So I'm definitely seeing some courtship and stuff being put on the back burner for some people. It's really reflection time right now. This is some real time for reflection. We see the Holy Ground card here, signifying purification. It's not yet, realizations have not fully grounded and things like that. So that's why I'm cutting off the image a little bit here. There's also stuff that's going on in a non-physical that your being is involved in and included in. They're saying, and we do a lot of work in the non-physical, especially if you're watching this channel. You do have soul contract to be of service to others in the non-physical as well. And so some of you may be actually doing double duty with a lot of things. I got, for someone here, you may be doing 5 things at once right now. God bless. So if you're tired, give yourself a break. I do keep seeing the frogs coming up. Earlier, I just heard toady energy earlier. I think it was during the reading, and I didn't mention it. I don't remember. Also, someone read my cards today, my buddy, you know who you are. And there were frogs in there. Frogs, the energy of frogs has been coming up. Let me go check my animal card. Hold on one second. Excuse me, guys. Oh, I know what it is. It's for decluttering things. Well, that's one of the... Okay, let me go get it. That's what I'm saying. Get your butt up. Excuse me. And I'm back. Hi. I love this book. Medicine cards. Okay. It's signed. Medicine cards by Jamie Sams. And David Carson, illustrations by Angela Wernicke. Wernicke? All right, let me see. Do we have our little froglets in here as well? Ding! Number 38, 189. Slow flipping, geez. My bad. Cleansing. All right, cleansing, which we know because we talked about how frogs are known for decluttering energy as well. Let me just take a quick look, and if you like to read too and you're interested, I'm just gonna, you can pause it, but hold on, let me just see if there's anything that sticks out here. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to turn. If you're still reading, my bad. I was skimming, by the way. Not that bad, fast a reader. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, one more. I'm going to leave it open here in case anybody, I don't know if you can even see that, but if you want to pause and read it, God bless. 1, 2, 3, bye. All right, so thank you guys. So we're seeing a lot of frog energy, and now that we've read that and they talked about cleansing, decluttering, clearing the space, making room. This is going right back to what we were just saying. Spirit is saying that in the clearing up of the space, you find something, and they're showing me an egg and then it cracking. It's almost like, oh, all we were waiting for was for you to clear the space so this thing can be made known to you. So there are realizations and aha moments that come in for you once you create the room for that. They're saying for non-judgment to flow. Very interesting the way that they're saying that. And notice I was bringing the crown chakra card in, and they told me to put it back. God bless them. And look at the next card. Maybe you have to pull it together. See the purple coming in, representing the crown chakra, although that seems a little bit more like magenta or fuchsia, but whatevs. See, it's coming in. It takes time. It takes time. As these energies are coming in, you see how it can't fully come in because divine timing is at play, or also timing is there because you haven't yet let go of some things. So create the space for these energies to come in and deliver for you. Yeah, I was going to say something else and I take on. Okay. Yes, they're saying that a lot of us are really, they're seeing a lot of dejected energy during this month. There's also saying dejected memory, but they're saying dejected energy because of memories, false memories, of course, because memories that are not processed are, well, false memories, right? And they're saying false members of existence. Wow, I'm not sure why they're saying that, but that's for somebody here. They're saying that you're feeling these energies, you're feeling dejected, you're feeling a certain type of way over unprocessed memories. And it's kind of like, hey, why don't we just process the memories so that we can get rid of them? Get rid of the emotions. They're likening it to having like a whole bunch of laundry and clothes and unfolded hanging around, and we're like, this mess, I've got to walk around it. I'm low-key annoyed, even though you may be like, oh, whatever, I'm cool with this, I have to live alone, whatever. It's clawing in the back of your mind to just have a mess hanging out there. And they're like, why don't we just sit down and fold the clothes? All of a sudden, this huge mound is now right there in the corner of your room. And on top of that, you're able to rediscover that shirt you never knew you had, or throw this out and that, and you're just clear. It's clear, it's clear. And once you do that, you can receive energy. You can receive movement. You can have motion forward. The way that they're saying it, I love it. They're saying, this is why you're stuck. Okay? If you're stuck, is because of this. You haven't created the space for yourself. For somebody, this is in business. Someone wants to have business. It's almost like I see you having your shop open, you've got this, but nothing's flowing. And that's because you haven't created the space. You have to create the space, and the way that you do that is by that's funny. I heard crushing my enemies. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know that whose voice is that, but that's look. Okay, there's the emperor, exactly. But I was gonna say that's not the right approach. Let me pull you back. See, crushing my enemies. The guides are like, no. Oh, see how they just said crushing my energies? Yeah, because your enemies are just a representations of your own energy. Listen, you crushing them, you crushing yourself. And you can't crush yourself. What are you doing? Spirit is saying that's not the way. That's not the way. The way that you have your stuff and you move forward is you clean house. Straight up. Straight up. You clean house. And then, and look at this cute little lover's card. This guy, he's like, oh, who's this? And he's learning. I mean, I've never seen his face have this expression here, but he's looking at her, and it's almost like she's looking at him, and he's like hanging on every word of her eyes. Like she's like, and in fact, there's like some sacred geometry right between their heads, and it's like looks like Metatron's cube, but they're showing. It's this energy transfer. There's growth that can be happening. I can't even put it here because it's not happened yet. Look what I want to put though. The Six of Wands, victory, and the Knight of Swords, this incoming energy. I can't even put it. I can't even put any of the cards on the table. I don't know. Let me put this away over here because the conditions aren't even right. They're saying energetically, Janelle, that's me, can't even place the cards here because the energy, oops, I keep doing that, doesn't support. There's no, like there's too much energy here, like I can't get it in. And that's exactly what just happened here. They're saying, imagine now that new job or that new outfit. That's for somebody, a new suit or new outfit. There's something new that wants to make its way to you, an opportunity. It can't even come. And that's because your space isn't clear. Yeah? So they're like, take some time, think about it. They're saying you have about, ooh, okay, 4 months to kind of get your shop up and running. They're saying create this space for yourself, clearings, healings, clean up, you know. You want to sell a van? Sell it. Get it out. If it's junk, get it out of your driveway. Get rid of it, okay? They're showing all of that. And I love how I pulled this out and this came out because it's almost like once you undertake this energy, the undertake is coming in for a reason. The reason why they said that is for somebody here. But the way once you undertake this energy of clearing and removing and all of this, what you're doing is you're bringing in. And sometimes the very act of moving one thing brings something in. It's not even like, oh, I'm cleaning up and nothing's coming, I'm waiting. No, it's like, boom, nature abhors a vacuum, right? You clear something, something's going to come right back. And look at this, speaking of 10 of voices, putting an end to major karmic cycles, painful things, closing the door. Let's see what popped out. Oh, I can't even hold it. Because it's not, what is this? The 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Wealth, look at now the frog. The frog is building, got it. The frog is building wealth, but the frog is also bringing wealth eventually once you declutter, right? But I couldn't even hold it because the energies aren't there, all right? This is how energy works, guys. Just, so listen. The bummy thing, which is kind of like, I'm bummed about it, is that we are creating our own stuff, and yeah, that's all great. But when you're creating and you don't really know what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're just getting stuff that you don't like and you think you like it, but you don't know you could be getting stuff that blows your socks off in awesome ways. But if only you knew how to work this whole thing, right? So this is what we're doing. We're teaching, we're learning how to, the words I'm hearing is work the field. We're learning to work the field. And they're saying it in a sense like work the field, you know, finesse the field, but at the same time to literally physically be physically working the field is what they're saying, okay? All right. And in fact, look at that, what comes out, 5 of Pentacles reversed. So one of the first things to go is that poverty consciousness. I can't do it, like, stop, right? No. I don't have enough education, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, nobody loves me, blah, 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 me, me, right? It's so me. So one way to, get yourself out of this poverty consciousness is like, hey, why are we making everything about us? Moving from self to others. See how she moves away, moving forward, from self, and she goes to others, the pathway lights up and we have this whole horizon. So when you get out of yourself for a second and stop looking at yourself and thinking about how you're not measuring up, instead focus on what is to come, what you could do to help others. And when you do so, be of a giving mind that is pretty much simply like, hey, if it came to me, I have the ability to do it. Plain and simple. All I have to do is show up, follow my guidance, and do my best. Speaking of, there's the support, and do my best. We have this power card here. Oh, what's this card right here? Ritual. Use ceremony to help you focus your intentions, okay? On the one side of this spectrum, we have routine. Build a routine. Work on the discipline, right? Get into alignment with your spirit, your spirit team, and your spirit, your higher self. But your spirit team, they're showing you, they're guiding you, they're giving you step by step. And listen, I do say this, I mean this. If you need help learning to read the energies, definitely hit me up, because that's what I do. And I don't know why I'm advertising myself right now. I just told you I'm about to go on medical leave, which goes to show you it's not about, the money and this and that. It's really about me saying, hey, for reals. And, let me know, I can help you after, But because the thing is, many people are everybody's receiving their guidance. But the thing is that a lot of people can't identify it. So, for example, if we chat together, I can point out to you, oh, they're doing this is happening, you're having this experience, and this and that and that. And what you can walk away with is how can you say, examples. Take a look at how you are being guided, and you could feel it, like, oh yeah, I get it, okay, because hindsight is really, really 2020. Okay, it really, really is 2020. Hindsight, reflection, gives you information. You can see how things come to you, how you process it, what did you do with it. But the problem is sometimes is, even in hindsight, if you don't know what you're looking for, you can make the mistake to believe that you were not guided, number one, and number two, that you are wrongfully guided. Now, if you were wrongfully guided, the only logical thing is that you were not listening to your guides. Who were you listening to? Welcome to Earth. You do have a plethora of non-physical beings around you. Whether or not you want to acknowledge that from where you are sitting right now, that's fine, because it can be scary for some people, whatever. And then you've got your own conditioning and your own stuff, your own past life aspects, things like that push you into feeling more compelled to do one thing than another, right? So influences, this is exactly how we started this reading, talking about how the guides are trying to help, but they can barely get through because you got so many things vying for your attention. But Spirit is saying one way that you can decrease the crowd, thin the crowd a bit, is, here he comes, healing. Doing your inner work. It helps. That's all I can say. Clean your house. Spiritually, emotionally, physically. When you clear, unclog the pipes. Clear the channels. Clear the chakras. Things like that. This is, come on. Your house. And things can't get in, and things get stuck, and this and that. So, good hygiene, spiritual energy hygiene. And lessen the intake. Look at what you're consuming. Yeah. If you're consuming a lot of stuff, I like how they're like this moon card with all the falsity. It almost, I don't know if you guys felt it, but They like detached it from this Ace of Pentacles, which is telling us discernment, right? We're just sitting and consuming all these things you're consuming, which is, you're consuming social media. It's training you to think certain things are funny. I'm like looking at some of these things sometimes, and it's like I see a post. It's like, I looked at this and it destroyed me. Did it? Oh, you mean you laughed so hard? It's like, give me a break. It's stupid, The stuff that we look at is stupid sometimes. Now, I love to get a good laugh, and you know me, I like to get my laughs in. So, yeah, but you gotta approach it with discernment. Be mindful. Be mindful and understand, hey, I noticed that my sense of humor has expanded to now see jokes and new types of, like, new things that I wouldn't have found funny before. But I have to be mindful of that because I understand that I'm consuming things on a platform right now. And I can trace where this started to become appealing to me. And I can trace, what am I doing with that now? Am I sharing it with other people? Am I thinking about it before I do it? Does it make sense? Is it fun and harmless? These are the ways that we need to consume responsibly. Another thing, I like to watch a lot of dance things, right? So some things, and I realize now, oh my God, all of a sudden I'll just start dancing out of the blue if I'm walking by a mirror or something, and I'm realizing, oh, I'm nailing this dance right now. How the hell? Oh, it's because I see it done all the time. Dr. Joe Dispenza, God bless, he does some groundbreaking work, and one of the things that he's shown is that really we can learn skills, very physical skills. We can create changes in the physical body, whether it's movement or health and condition, things like that, just by observing, going through the motions of something. The guys that wanted me to say going through the emotions as well. Yes, everything. You gotta go, guys. You gotta get through the emotions. You gotta get through, right? So all of these things, you're seeing it and you're learning it. You're being trained. If you consume media, the news, music, commercials, all this, you're being trained. Things you get in your body. I hate to say certain things that we're taking, listen, whatever. Gets in your body. If I won't name things, but we all took something at some point over the past 2 years, right? And after I took mine, I was very, I was watching, I was in the mirror, and I don't like network TV and stuff because the commercials, they're just dumb. But anyway, but a commercial came on, and of course we're in the States, so of course it was, pharmaceutical for, I don't know what condition they had on. Oh my God, can you imagine? Always hearing this. And out of the blue, I heard a voice in my mind literally say, and because I read energy, I hear it, I feel it, everything. Literally, the voice said, "Oh, and it was so weird, the voice. Oh, I'm so happy that we have science and that we can take these medicines, and I trust it." And it was just like, this is not my voice. This is marketing, okay? Right after I finished taking something, and I'm not saying that whatever I took, that many of us have taken, is good or bad or the other. This is not one of those political platforms, but I will tell you these things do carry energy. And branding is not just done in the physical. If you understand, anyway, people understand this. They understand this. It's simple. If I want to sell my home, all I need to do is energetically set the intention for it to stand out to people, and I reinforce it by, doing certain things, thinking about it, talking about it, and it's so it is. And I'll leave you with one more story about this. I moved into a studio a few years back in LA, and I remember I was sweeping it up, super cute, sweep, and in the corner, as I was sweeping, I heard marketing energy. And I heard it, like the marketing, the commercial about, this stuff. And I was literally sweeping it out. I was like, And my first thought was, what? Whoever was trying to move this place, they understand. Because I felt that it was intentional. They did it. You don't have to light candles to do this stuff, people. You don't need all that. You need only to set the intention to Keep it up. Keep the routine up. They're bringing us back here, right? Ritual. This is ritual. All right? Discernment. Discernment, discernment, discernment. So please understand, yeah, a lot of these talking points coming out in the news and in social media, this turn it off. Turn it off. Off. All the way off is what I'm getting. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that because the guides are, well, they're not saying anything. Oh, there it is. Ace of Swords literally just dropped out, and the Four of Swords taking it off, turning it off. Ace of Swords, divine communications. They're so funny. Six of Pentacles, you're welcome. Literally, they're so funny. All right, well, there we go. We have it. I just did this. We have it, laissez-faire. I'm hands off right now, and then we see this position like, ah. So anyway, you guys are sovereign beings. I'm just delivering the message. Okay, God bless you. If you have any questions, I'm going to leave it here. They're so funny. They were like, just give us 60 minutes for this reading, and it's I'm so sorry. It's over. It's almost 1 hour and 11 minutes. Okay, they got it. I'm not gonna mess with them. Anyway, God bless you guys. So please do, if you know that, again, you guys know it does take me time to get back to people sometimes, but expect that may take me a little bit longer, or maybe not, because I'll be a little bit on leave. But I'll do my best to post the dailies and whatever I can when I can. But do your best. Okay. Love you. Bye.